Hello, fellow DBZ enthusiasts, and welcome to the King's Court. Okay, so in the past here on the channel, I've uploaded actually some DBZ content before, talking about like my favorite moments from the original anime, from DBZ, and even Dragon Ball itself. Oh wait, did I upload that one? Oh shoot. Okay, well I might have to remake that one now. I also did my tribute videos to Akira Toriyama. Jesus, I think it's been almost 6 months. Jesus Christ, it's felt a lot longer at this point. Oh my goodness. R.I.P. to the legend for the record. And it's honestly crazy to think about because right now, there's a lot of Dragon Ball content coming out. We got Dragon Ball Daima coming out this month. Sparking Zero, I think, is already out at this point. Which, if I'm not, if, as the moment of me recording this, it probably isn't because if this video came out, is this video should be coming out after Sparking Zero already came out, and I'm probably hooked to my TV right now, playing right now. But not the point. The point is, it's also spooky months. Ooh, scary. Well, anyways, so I wanted to talk about some stuff here in the channel involving, in the spirit of Halloween, October, all that stuff. I had an idea. I want to do more Dragon Ball. I guess you could call them video essays. I think people call them these days. I wouldn't really say that. Honestly, it's just me and my fanboyness behind a mic. But I want to talk about what I think is the most horrifying scene in Dragon Ball, period. Not just Z, not GT, Super. Well, okay, Super didn't really have a lot of moments like that, but the most horrifying moment in Dragon Ball, period. So, before we get to that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell. If you like these kind of videos and want to see more DBZ video essays or shoot stuff like this in general, I want to do some more for Halloween, and I think I have some ideas too for going into the future. So if you want to see any of those, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell. Let me know what kind you would want to talk about. You want us to bring here to the channel. I know channel member Michael would love to do some ones on Star Wars. So if you want to see stuff like that, let us know. And also let me know in the comments. Did you see? If you could see the image or the thumbnail that I'm going to use, you probably know what scene I'm talking about. So, did you see this episode when you were a kid? Because I sure as hell did, and I'm going to talk about it. So, let me know if you can remember your exact feelings when you first saw this episode. How made you feel? And looking back as an adult, how does it still make you feel? Because I'm not going to lie, it's still kind of hard to watch. And man, I plan on going to see Terrifier 3, and I saw the first two movies already, so I'm no stranger to horrifying scenes, but for some reason, this one still gets me. And that's pretty much it for the intro. So, now, this is an episode from, if you read the manga, it is from, let me look at this right, I suck with numbers, also I'm so sorry if you hear an airplane in the back. Here it is. Chapter 361 from the Dragon Ball manga, which happened, originally when this is actually also Cell's first appearance, if I remember right, in 1992 in Japan. Oh, Jesus, 1992, that's crazy. It's older than I am. And the chapter was called "The Mysterious Monster Finally Appears." And if I remember right, this, when it comes to the anime, this was about early season 5, if I recall. If I get that wrong, I'll put like a picture of the episode and the chapters here. But anyways, so little background. In this episode, this is, like I said, this is right after Kami and Piccolo fuse. Now, Piccolo had just had a fight with the androids, and at this point, they don't know about. They just barely dealt with androids 17 and 18 because this whole time they were fighting androids 19, and at the time we didn't know Dr. Gero. We all thought these were the two androids Trunks came back in time to warn everyone about, but no. They just got their butts kicked by 17 and 18. And everyone knows Piccolo and Kami hate each other because Piccolo is the reincarnated form of King Piccolo, Kami's evil half. So obviously they don't get along, but they're still forever linked. So basically, Piccolo realizes the androids are far beyond what they could have imagined, way beyond planet Namek Frieza. So the only way that the planet's going to survive and any of them are going to get out of this and avoid Trunks' dark timeline is if him and Kami fuse their powers to become the ultimate Namekian. The Namekian that forgot his name. So, Before, though, he agrees. Kami warns Piccolo that he was going through this. He was sensing some kind of evil. And it wasn't the androids, because you can't sense the androids' energy. But he was sensing some weird evil during this time. And spoiler alerts, I mean, Dragon Ball Z's been around for so long. If you're watching this and you don't already know what I'm talking about, alright, spoilers. You've been warned. We didn't know at the time of you were reading or watching this for the first time, we didn't know this was Cell. This was Cell during his larval stage after he stole the time machine from Trunks in his timeline, went back in time and had to hide underground like a cicada in order to gain back to his adult form, and then he had to go start absorbing people. So, for those years, 6 years if I remember right, he was basically gathering up his strength to go start absorbing people and go hunt down the androids. So, during this entire time, Kami was basically feeling his evil building up this entire time on the Earth. So, basically, it wasn't until Kami realized that this evil could be too much for any of them to handle. So, he agrees to finally unite with Piccolo again to become the ultimate Namekian to take on this evil. Because he senses that evil is moving on the Earth, like walking. Because not only while this was going on, while everyone else was waiting for Goku to recover from his heart disease, everyone else was basically watching TV, and a news report comes up saying that entire cities were disappearing. Their clothes were being left. It's like they literally just vanished out of nowhere. So, because of that, Kami decides to basically fuse with Piccolo and go investigate what's going on. He ends up in a town where he senses, for some reason, multiple Z Fighters' energy. Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, all of them. Frieza. And so he is not sure what's going on until he starts hearing footsteps. And then from the shadows, like a horror movie character, because this was pretty much a straight up horror movie at this point, Cell appeared from the shadows. And if you watch the original version that premiered on TV in the US, his theme was bone chilling. And you see him carrying this large man who's kind of balding. We thought he was dead, but he was actually just knocked out. So, Cell basically drops him to the ground. The man wakes up. And right there, he starts freaking out, begging Piccolo to help him. And it's crazy seeing, obviously a grown adult freaking out. And then he pulls out this huge fat stack of cash and says he's the richest man in that city. And he'll pay him anything to help save him. Piccolo is still too blown away by Cell's mere presence and the fact he's sensing his energy that he doesn't know how to act. It wasn't until you see Cell's tail lift up, stab the man, until Piccolo starts to react and tells him to let go of him, but it's already too late, because at that moment, we start seeing it. Cell is literally absorbing this man. Now, you would think in most, because, at the end of the day, DBZ is and still is, to a degree, aimed towards, a younger audience, and let's be real, a lot of these days, there's censors, but no, they didn't hold back. You see this man completely be absorbed. His guts, everything organic about him is disappearing. He's looking like an orange that's being crushed in your hand, and all the juice is coming out. He is shriveled up like a raisin, and he keeps screaming for Piccolo to help him until he can't scream anymore. And before we even notice, he's gone. And all that's left is the cash that he was holding, trying to get Piccolo to help him, and his clothes. And from that moment on, we know what's going on. Cell is a monster because he has been not only killing, but drinking and absorbing the bioessence of all these people in these entire cities. And don't forget, these are cities, not just random one-off homes, entire cities, which means he not only absorbed the poor, the rich in this case, but grown men, women, and children. And during this scene where Piccolo and Cell are basically going back and forth, you see in the background clothes everywhere, and it just reminds you, Cell was not holding back. He was absorbed. He had a mission to track down the androids and absorb as much bioessence as he could to gain his perfect form. and he didn't care who got in his way. Not only that, in that same episode, or same amount of fights, like the chapters that would be that fight, you see him do the same thing to Piccolo's arm. And that is honestly what's truly terrifying. And honestly, that's still, that scene of seeing that man be absorbed like that by Cell is so horrifying that I personally still think it is the most horrifying scene of Dragon Ball, period, because you see the idea of, the Ozarus and all them, and Frieza, how intimidating Frieza was when he was first introduced, blowing up planets, not even caring if they're children, like what he did, like he was going to do to Dende, or the sheer brutality of like Majin Buu when he literally knocked out Babbidi's head, like knocked his head off, literally. But the fact that we actually saw this man's life, not only, basically in a way, it was almost like a snuff film. The man's was not only killed in front of an entire audience of children watching this, but he was literally being absorbed, eaten, basically. And so that's why, honestly, I think this is still the most horrifying scene in DBZ. And I think that's probably why the idea of being consumed is so horrifying, because stuff like this being shown, it just really sticks with a person. And I don't know how to end this. That's pretty much it, because, man, even just talking about it, like, I'll try to share as many pictures as I can, because, YouTube's on, copyright's a bitch. And so I can't show the entire clip, but I'll leave a link in the description to the full scene if you want to see it for yourself. If either you've never seen the original Z, because I didn't really bother with Kai, I'm going to be honest. So I don't really know if Kai showed it, or if you've never seen it in general, or if you just haven't seen it in a long time. It's still hard to watch, so I'll leave a link to that in the description. And that's the entire thing. I wanted to talk about this because it's spooky month, and I'm going to be in, dark, moments, stuff like this. Doesn't happen as often as they used to, but in a series like Dragon Ball Z, where, people always think it's like fighting, energy blasts. Obviously it's not always that, but the fact that something like this, that honestly should be more in like a body horror type of manga or something, you would see something in like one of those, or like some kind of really messed up alien movie or something. This feels like something straight out of like Alien or Predator or something, but the fact it was in Dragon Ball is just crazy to think about, especially since if you look at Super and some of that, Super was pretty, honestly, clean. Like, there wasn't like a lot of, obviously there was, like Goku Black and all that, and you had, the whole genocide thing, but the fact we actually see this happen in front of us, and you could hear the terror in the man's voice. Honestly, credit to both the English and Japanese voice actors for this scene. It's, both of them are still haunting, so I just wanted to talk about this. So let me know in the comments what you thought of this scene. Does it still get to you? And what did you think when you were a kid when you first saw this? And that's pretty much it. I want to do some more videos like this, so if you want to see any more and you got any topics, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good week. Take care. Bye.